Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel, and for today's video we are going to, as you can see by the title, we are going to be ranking the top 5 best women's matches of all time. So, as you know, I was going to do 10, but then I was like, maybe I should narrow it down to like 5. So, we have our 5, we're going to talk about it, we're going to talk about why each is where it's at right now, and we're gonna get into it. So, without further ado, let's go. So, starting in at number 5, we have none other than, and this is a hard decision. It was so hard to put these in from 1 to 5. 5 being the least, but obviously, I don't think any of these are the least since they're my top 5. I just have a specific order in which they are. So without further ado, coming in at number 5 is going to be Nikki Bella versus Paige for the Divas Championship at Money in the Bank 2015. Now, this match to me was, it was so many things. It was so good. Like, at this time, Nikki Bella was still on her reign to become one of the longest reigning Divas champions. I think she was at like 200 days or something like that. And so, Paige she was getting opportunities, but she was always failing because, it's the numbers advantage, and it was, the advantage that the Bellas had that Paige always seemed to lost. And it felt like this time could really be the time that Paige capitalized and became the new Divas champion. It ended Nikki's record-setting reign to become longest reigning Divas champion. But of course, this is in my top 5. This is my favorite, one of my favorite matches because at this time I loved Nikki Bella. I loved her reign as Divas champion. It was probably one of my favorite times in Divas wrestling, especially for someone like Nikki Bella, who's been working to be the champion for so long and finally defeating AJ Lee at not Night of Champions, at Survivor Series to become the new Divas champion. And Nikki's reign was amazing. It was so good. She put on so many classics with Paige, and I think that's what really elevated the women's division to be where it's at right now. But let's get into the match. So, we get to the beginning of the match. There's like brawl, they're fighting. Paige is mad, obviously, because she's been trying to get opportunities, and every time she had an opportunity, she got screwed over. So, they started off, they brawling, whatever. So then we get into the middle of the matches, and we see Paige hit the rampage, and like everybody in the whole arena is like, oh my god, this is it. And the referee counts it 2, and then the kicks out. It's just like, oh. So then Paige is trying to figure out what to do next. Then she takes Nikki to the top of the rope. They're scuffling, they're fighting or whatever, And then they both go down. They both wow, and they both go down. And then out of nowhere, here comes Brie trying to use twin magic. So we've seen this many of times. This is how Nikki retained her title almost every time she faced Paige. So we was just like, oh my god, is she really about to win like this again? And Brie gets in the ring. She keeps her head down so the official doesn't see her. Paige rolls her up. No, Brie rolls Paige up, but then Paige reverses it and rolls Brie up. And the referee counts up 3, and we all thought that was it. We all thought that Paige Paige won the title, but then again we realized it's Brie. So, and Brie shows Paige like, I'm Brie, not Nikki. Paige kicks Brie, sends out of the ring. Nikki comes from behind, boom, forearm, and boom, rack attack, and Nikki retains the title. Like I said, this match right here was by far, I think, match of the night. I think it was match of the night by far. So yeah, amazing match, my top 5. So now we'll move on to number 4. And number 4 is going to be Miss. Sorry, I gotta turn my thing on. It's kind of hot. Sorry. I'm sorry, it's hot. If you hear my fan, it's hot. I'm sorry. But number four, the match for me is going to be, I would have to say, oh my god. I don't want to put it so low, but like I kind of got to. I'll say Becky versus Bianca Belair, WrestleMania 38 for the Raw Women's Championship. I mean that match right there. Oh, there's just so many good things about it. It was such a good match. Easily could have been easily could have been night one's best matches. Them two women put on a clinic. When I tell you, I was shocked from beginning to end. I was shocked from beginning to end. But here's why it's number four. So, we get to the match. And, this was long awaited. Bianca had been working. She has been fighting. She's been clawing to get back to the top. Because if you remember last year's WrestleMania, I mean, not last year. If you remember last year, what happened at SummerSlam when Becky returned, then she gave Bianca a handshake. It was supposed to be a title match, and Bianca's all for it. So, she shook her hand. Boom, out of nowhere, Becky hits manhandle slam, wins the title in under 20 seconds. And everybody was like, what the heck? So then, I love how this match follows into that and ties into that match. It's great storytelling. It ties into that match so well. They start off the match with a manhandle slam, and that's how Bianca lost the title in the first place. So everybody was just like, oh my god, is Bianca about to lose? Even I thought she was about to lose. But no, she gets out, and that's just great storytelling. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So, in this match, we see the storytelling with Bianca, the underdog, because she does so well of playing the underdog. She just does it so well. And you have Becky coming in as this vicious heel, this dominant heel. The Becky that we love, the Becky that I love to see. I love to see a heel Becky. It's just one of her best works. I think she's so much better off as a heel than she is a babyface. It's just so good. And in this match, we get to the end of the match, and we see Bianca been through the ringer. She's playing, playing dead at this point. And then she's in the corner, and out of nowhere, she hits a backflip. Becky startled. Boom! Out of nowhere, massive KOD for the win. Wherever the crowd explodes, we're so excited to see Bianca as a champion. She's been fighting forever. She's been fighting to get to this point, and we're just glad to see it. And this match, to me, just reminds me of why women's wrestling is just so good. Like, oh my god, it's so good. But yeah, before four. And then we get to three. So, this is where I have to do a lot of thinking because there's so many good women's matches. But I would have to say in top three for me will have to be Sasha Banks versus Bayley at NXT Brooklyn. This match, the entrances that they gave, Bayley coming out with her standing ovation from the crowd with her Bayley buddies. What an entrance. Oh my god. And then you have Sasha Banks comes out. If you guys don't know, Sasha Banks is my favorite female wrestler of all time. Like, I would put her over anybody. I think she is one of the greatest. I think she's a legend. She's one of the reasons why I fell in so hard and loved wrestling the way I do right now. She just changed the game and knocked down barriers for women. Ugh, so good. And she's the boss for a reason because that entrance at NXT Brooklyn, so good. I mean, she comes out with the Escalade. She comes out with the security. How a boss should come out, and she just that just showed why she is who she is. That just showed that she is the boss for a reason. And then you get into the match. This match, oh god, this match I could never forget. I don't think anybody could ever forget this match. It already went down as one of the greatest women's NXT matches and feuds of all time, without rightfully due. I mean, this match just blew everybody's socks off. This match showed exactly what the women in NXT and the women in WWE can actually do. Like they can actually go, they can compete and put on bangers just like the men, if not better than the men. So that's why this match is just so good. The spots in this match, like when Sasha did that, I don't know what to call it, but she did that flip from the top rope onto Bayley to the floor. That match, holy crap moment. Oh my god. And then Sasha Banks with the Meteoria, that spot. Bayley with I don't know, she was on, I don't know what to call it, but she flipped Sasha on the ground and then went into from that to the Bayley to win the title. Oh my god, I could just go on and talk about the amazing spots, the amazing moments in this match, what makes it so historic. But by far, one of the best NXT women's matches of all time. Like, I could talk about it all day, but I'm not. Because I'm trying to make this video short, but I'm also trying to talk about it, but I'm trying to make it short as well. So, trying to get it up there. So, yeah, number 3 is Sasha Banks versus Bayley for the NXT Women's Championship at NXT Brooklyn 2015. So now we're going to move on to number 2. And this number 2 spot came as a shock for me because I didn't even think I would put it in there. But for number 2, it would have to be Asuka versus Charlotte at WrestleMania 34. I mean, if you think about it, this match is so good. It's so good. And Asuka coming in from winning the first ever women's Royal Rumble match. That just already was good. And we thought she was going to pick Alexa. Everybody thought she was going to pick Alexa. I mean, kind of. I thought she was going to pick Alexa. Some people probably thought she was pick Charlotte, but I thought she would pick Alexa because we knew she could easily beat Alexa like that. But no, she chose Charlotte. She went a different route. She won the Rumble. She chose Charlotte. And this is where, in 2018, after the Royal Rumble, Ronda had returned during the Royal Rumble. So at that point, we already was about to see the women's division kick off more than it already did because we had an addition of Ronda freaking Rousey, a UFC fighter, coming to WWE. That was already the topic of discussion. That was already the buzz around town. And then you have this match, Charlotte versus Asuka at Mania. I mean, the story for it, the build up for it was pretty alright. I mean, I think it was okay. It could have been better, for sure, but I liked it for what it was. It did its job. It told the story of Charlotte being one of the greatest and showing her that she had to win to prove that she was, in fact, what she said she is, which is one of the greatest female wrestlers of all time. And then Asuka, on the other hand, had to prove that her streak, she had to continue that streak, and she had to beat the best of the best, which was Charlotte Flair. And so we get to this match, and everybody thought that Asuka was going to win because nobody thought that Asuka's undefeated streak was going to end at all. So that was never a discussion that Asuka was going to lose at Mania in a match like this. These women put on a spectacle of a match. Holy crap. Beans and rice. This match was amazing, bro. It was so good. From beginning to literally end. I mean, the spots, like Asuka and Charlotte with that Spanish fly from the top rope. Holy crap. Asuka with that suplex. It was just, I think the match was pretty fast paced, to be honest with you. But in a good way. It was fast paced in a good way, and I loved it. I loved it from beginning to end. It was like a roller coaster ride. Both women showing that they are, in fact, the greatest of all time. They're showing why they deserved to have this match, showing why they are at the top of the division. And here we go. Let's talk about the end of the matches. The end of the match. We get to the end of the match, right? And here we have, I think it was Charlotte. She speared Asuka. We thought that was it. No, 2 count. And then we get to the very end. Charlotte locks in. No, I think Asuka has the Asuka locking on Charlotte. Charlotte reverses it, gets out of it, and she tried to get into the figure eight the first time. Asuka kicks out of it, but Charlotte's like no, and then she gets into it again, and then she hits the bridge, and we don't expect it. We expect Asuka to get that some kind of way, but no. Asuka taps out, and this ends Asuka's 914-day undefeated streak, and this was like an Undertaker moment because nobody expected Asuka to be defeated and lose her undefeated streak to Charlotte Flair. Everybody thought that Asuka was going to take the title from Charlotte and continue that reign to 1,000 days of her undefeated streak. But nope, that didn't happen. So this match was just so good. And this is by far the best match, which is why it is in my number 2. Okay, so we move on from that match, and we get into our number 1 favorite match, the top match on my list, which is going to be none other than Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair at WrestleMania 37 for the SmackDown Women's Championship 2021. Oh man. I have to pause because this to me, I would never forget this night even if I tried to. This was a match that I will never forget. This is a match that I will go back and I will watch 1,000 times over and over and over again on Peacock because this match just so good. You felt the atmosphere from the crowd. You felt the energy in the room. It was so electric, and it was the first time having the WWE crowd back after a whole year of being in the Thunderdome. So that was already a big deal as of this match was. So we get to the match. Let's talk about the entrances. Bianca Belair with her entrance was so good. I loved her. I love her outfit. I love the purple. I love the rhinestones. And it's the fact that Bianca makes these outfits herself that's just way more impressive. Because you make an outfit yourself, it's just, oh god, it's mind blowing. And then she comes out amazing. The crowd is going crazy for her, as they rightfully should. She's the EST of the WWE. So amazing. Good entrance by far. And then we get to the champion, Sasha Banks. Holy smokes. Let's talk about her outfit. This outfit, so good. I mean, Sasha Banks already does good. She already has amazing outfits as it is. She always elevates her outfits and always comes out looking snatched. But this outfit, it gave goth, it gave villain, it gave everything it needed to. By far, one of her best looks in the WWE. By far. The green, the way she just draw it out, the way she carried herself in her entrance, it's just so good. Oh my god. But let's talk about this match. So we get into this match. Before the match even started, that you just see the image of Sasha Banks and Bianca, and you see them just looking at each other, and you see them not trying to cry or get emotional before a move, before they hit a move, before they even touched each other. That moment right there is just so iconic. It's just so mesmerizing. You just knew it was going to be something special that night. You felt it in the air. You knew these two was going to put on a clinic. And without further ado, they put on a clinic. This match was so good. I mean, let's talk about the spots. That gorilla press that Bianca did when she carried Sasha Banks up the freaking stairs, from the floor to the stairs back into the ring was absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. It just showed why Bianca was the strongest and why she was the EST of the WWE. Like, see what they do with Raquel? They tell us that she's the strongest, but they don't do it with actually showing. But for Bianca, They show you why she is the greatest and why she is the best of all time. Oh my god, so many spots, so many major matches. I mean, that 450 splash on the Sasha Banks. We thought that was going to be it. No, Sasha kicks out. Bianca goes crazy. So good. The spot with the DDT that Sasha Banks did on Bianca. That was good. So many amazing spots. But then we get to the end of the match, and I think that, yeah, Sasha has Bianca's hair. She's holding it. Yeah, Bianca yanks it out of her hand. She boom hits that thunderous hair whip on Sasha, and you can hear that. You can hear that from a mile away. What a hair whip! And then the closing moments, we get into, we think Bianca's about to hit her KOD. No, Sasha reverses it. We think Sasha's about to hit the backstabber into the bank statement. No. Bianca reverses it again. Bam! Into that thunderous KOD, and then boom, wins the title. And, such a good match. Such a good match. These two deserved it. And you can see that spot when Sasha Banks is holding her scar from the hair whip, but she's also looking at Bianca and smiling at her. It was just an amazing match. It's a match that I don't think anybody could ever forget. It was just a match that is just going to live on in people's minds as one of the greatest women's matches of all time. And there you go, guys. You have it. The greatest women's matches of all time. My top 5 women's matches that I just love to death and that I could talk about forever and ever. But for the sake of the video, I want to make this video short. So I just want to give you brief descriptions on why these were one of my favorite. Why these 5 matches were the greatest women's matches of all time and my top 5 women's matches. But oh my god, thank you guys for watching, and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, follow me on Instagram, follow me on all social medias, and I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.